Oh, Shelley, you have to unmute, hun. Sorry, I think I
Go.
muted you. There you
Yep.
go.
Yeah. Well, welcome everybody. I'm really excited to share about being active because it's always an important part of my life and something that I focus on every day. So hopefully some of this information that Nat and I share tonight will be helpful for you. And it's for anybody from active living to the weekend warrior, intense workouts, elite athletes. There'll be a variety of information. And hopefully, yes, it has the weekend warrior, but hopefully you're doing things throughout the day as well because it's much better for your body when you kind of spread it out. So, yeah, let's get started. So just a little bit of my background. I am a health and phys ed teacher. I was doing that for 32 years before retiring, and but I also did a lot of coaching. My favorite sports were more in volleyball and curling. I also played volleyball at university, but I've always been active, cycling there in terms of the 200 kilometer ride for cancer. And then I did a mud run. And then at one of the events that Nat and I were at, we decided to do some fat tire biking, which was really great. And my story was because of being so active, and we're going to talk a little bit more about this as well. I had joint pain in my 20s, had to get my knee surgically scoped, and I started wearing neoprene braces, and that was in my 20s, and everything was really great until my 40s when they started acting up again, and went to the doctors trying to figure out what all I could do because really didn't want to get things scoped again. Found out that not only did I have the issues with my joint pain, but I also had osteoarthritis in my hip because of all the activity, and learned about Neolife from Nada. Started on a couple of products that we're going to talk about tonight. And within a month, my pain was gone. And within a year, you can see from that picture with the bike, I no longer wore my neoprene braces, and I have been pain-free for the last 14 years, which is why doing this presentation is really near and dear to my heart because if I can share, if we can all share and help other people stay active and be pain-free, that's an awesome thing that we always want to do. So, being the benefits of exercise is definitely improving your mental health and your mood, reduces your risk of heart disease, helps manage your weight, strengthens your bones and muscles, and that's so important also as we age, helps your body manage those blood sugars and insulin levels, improves your ability to do everyday activities because if you're stronger as you do your exercise, then a lot of things that you're doing throughout the day become a little easier. And it can also help you sleep better. But depending on how much activity you do and how much exercising you do, there are some effects that that your body goes through, and that's where we want to talk about how to help that. But some of the effects are inflammation, which is what I experienced, occurred for active people, free radical production and damage, much greater than with non-athletes, and that kind of makes sense. Protein is lost as a result of exercise, and protein is huge when you're talking about recovery as well. Creates tremendous short-term damage at the cellular level. Continuous exercise and overtraining compromises the immune system. So these are all things that we have to keep replenishing. Stresses the joints and the tendons and increases need for specific nutrients as we keep exercising and as we stay more active throughout our life. And so there are some things that we want to focus on just for getting those nutrients into our body. And one is having a healthy breakfast. Don't skip it. You want to start that day giving your body nutrients, whether it's first thing in the morning, whether it's if you're doing anything with the time delayed eating as well, if it happens to be 9 o'clock or 10 o'clock, but at least a breakfast that's in the morning to get yourself started. Oh, water. Water is huge. You want to stay hydrated. Water, your brain is composed of 75% of water. It helps to carry nutrients and oxygen to your cell, which is, you want that oxygen as you're exercising. It regulates your body temperature, moistens oxygen for breathing. Oh, it helps convert food to energy, which is huge when you have activity. Removes the waste, protects and cushions your vital organs, and makes up 75% of your muscles and definitely cushions your joints. And there's a few more on there as well. 22% of your bones. So hydration is really, really important. And it's not just drinking after you're really thirsty because you've just worked out, it's drinking a little bit throughout the day. Boost your immune system. The more color on your plate, the better. And we want to have 9 to 13 servings per day. And this is actually from a head trainer of the women's cycling. She always said, Beth would say, all the riders to incorporate whole grain carbs, lean proteins, and colorful fruits and veggies in their snacks and meals every day. Because it is so important to just keep giving your body the nutrients so that you can stay active. Number 4, choose iron-rich foods. According to experts, it's quite common for athletes, especially women, to be deficient in iron. And this can slow you down and increase the risk of injury at any sport. So some iron-packed foods include your red meats, eggs, lentils, shellfish, and spinach. So you are what you eat. So definitely we want to put in our body more healthy things. And I like to go with the 80-20 rule, unless there's a reason that you have to up it to 90-10 or even higher, depending on what you're doing. And I love as a teacher, so when this came out in 2019, how they had changed a lot of the Canadian food guide, it's so much more balanced. So you have your healthy vegetables and fruits for half your plate, and you eat your protein foods for a quarter of your plate, and whole grain foods. And we're going to talk a lot more about those whole grains for the other quarter. And definitely, once again, it says make water your drink of choice. Nice and balanced from the Canadian Food Guide. And depending on how you are with prepping your food, some people like to do a whole variety each day because they love to be in the kitchen and they enjoy, just cooking and making different meals and plans throughout the day. Other people, like me, I like to do more of a prepping, where you prep on the weekend or on a special day and you have things set for the week. But whichever way you do it, you want to make sure that you plan so that you have healthy foods every day and you're always going to be replenishing your body after you exercise. And this is a great way to start your day. And I've been using this for 14 years with the Shake and Pro Vitality. We'll talk about this. Nada, I know that you've been doing it every morning for 35 years. And I also have another shake after I've done my workout because you really want to have something within 20 minutes of your workout. So this is to start your day. And just talking about the shake, it's all natural, it's biologically complete. And what that means, there are 22 amino acids, and this drink has all of them. Really important as a complete protein. And we want to make sure that it actually gets absorbed by your body. And that's what it means by the high protein quality score. 18 grams of protein per serving. And you can just mix that with water. You can mix that with, any of the liquids that you may choose to use, whether it's soy milk or almond milk or cow's milk, whatever you choose, or even just water. It includes your branched chain amino acids, which are important for exercising and just retaining those muscles, 5 grams of fiber, which we're all very low in sometimes, 25 essential vitamins and minerals, whole food antioxidants, and 3 amazing great flavors. The glycemic response control technology is really important for those blood sugar levels. And you can see there with that diagram, instead of it going up and then you crash, and then up and then you crash, we want to keep your sugar balanced so that your body is feeding off of the sugars as you exercise. No artificial anything, no high fructose corn syrup, no preservatives, no gluten or cholesterol or saturated fat, 90% lactose free, and Neolife does not believe in using any genetically modified products or ingredients. The other one is a vegan protein. So for myself, I have the Neolife shake in the morning after my workout. I'll do the vegan shake just because I like that variety. And this is great because it is also biologically complete, coming from just plant-based. 18 grams of protein, 21 amino acids, because that 22nd one comes from a meat amino acid, over 3 grams of the BCAAs again, energizing healthy fat blend, no added sugar, the phytodigestive enzymes, which are always helpful, just helping with that absorption as well and just breaking everything down, 24 vitamins and minerals, plus inositol, GMO-free, gluten-free, 150 calories per serving. And I'll tell you, it tastes great. The Upbeat is something that I have every day. Well, I also have the shakes every day, but when this came out, I just love it because it is great for endurance, great for stamina, and it also really helps with circulation. And so I have this an hour before I go to my workouts, whether it's a yoga, whether it's an actual working out with my weights, whether it's a hike, whether it's golfing, curling, whatever I happen to be doing. But it just gives me that energy to lift more and just go further because it's such an amazing product. It has 70 milligrams of dietary nitrates, nitric oxide. The activation blend is beets, kale, and Joseph's coat, or red spinach is another way to say that. It also has moringa leaves, pomegranate peel, and black ginger root, and it tastes great. It's more earthy, but is absolutely wonderful. Some people actually add it to their shakes as well. But with those nitrates, the fatigue, oh my gosh, I don't feel that anymore. I have greater muscle force during weightlifting. Beetroot enhances the ability of the muscle to produce power, and more muscle power equals more repetitions when you are doing weights. And so if you are being active, walking is awesome, yoga is awesome, but you also want to introduce and have something that's weight bearing because that's so much better for your just for your bones and anything with osteoporosis, just to kind of keep you nice and strong. Reduces fatigue and increases stamina, improves physical fitness and performance, the cardiovascular health because of that circulation, supports healthy inflammatory response, healthy immune response, acts as an antioxidant, and supports cognitive function. And so when we went through that list of how exercising does affect the body, the Pro Vitality and the shakes with this Upbeat just fill those gaps and just really replenish your body. And I'm going to pass it over to Nada so she can introduce Peter. And this is a great testimonial.
Yeah, Peter, when he was so excited, his mom actually reached out to me, and I just do a bit of an introduction here. So he's loving the Upbeat.
I'm actually here in Bolton with Peter, and I have to say that Frances, some of you have met Frances, and Lucy, who introduced Frances to our incredible products. Frances introduced her son to the products about just a few months ago, and Peter is going to share his journey as an experience that he's had on an incredible new product called Upbeat. And I'm so grateful to have some young athletes using this incredible product because it's impacted my performance in my recovery when I work out. And now to have a young athlete try this product because there's so many kids out there taking energy drinks that are not safe and that are loaded with caffeine. And Peter, I'd love for you to share your experience and your journey using this amazing new Upbeat product that we launched.
Yeah, so I've never had the best cardio pretty much my whole hockey career. I'd always be tired after shifts and I wouldn't have a lot of energy in the third period. Actually, pretty much the whole game I would feel very unenergized on the bench. But ever since I started taking Upbeat about 3 months ago, the first time I took it, I noticed a difference right away. I would be energized throughout the whole game. I would recover really quickly after shifts, and then I would go out the next shift, and I would be like the first shift of the game. And in the third period, I would have just as much energy as I would in the first. It's just helped tremendously in my hockey game, and I'm so grateful that I'm taking the product, and I recommend it to everybody that I know. And it's just so much better than any sports drinks that I've taken in the past. You can't. I could feel the difference like immediately with the Upbeat, but with the sports drinks, you can't feel it as much. It's just so good, and I am so grateful that I'm able to take it.
Sorry, we've had some a little technical glitches earlier, so I had to 1 second. Oops. Nope, it's not going to let me do it. Hang on. Oh, here we go. All right. So the recovery is key to performance, right, Shelley?
Absolutely.
And when you're looking at exercise and rest, those are the two things that really are really important as well. And athletes who improve or enhance recovery will also improve performance. I know protein, it plays a really key role with that as well. And athletes that do not fully recover enter their next training or competition at a disadvantage. And more rapid and complete recovery can help with immune function. And some of you know that, when I was introduced to Neolife over 35 years ago, I was working as a police officer in Toronto. And I remember when I was training at the police college, I wish I knew about Neolife. I was exhausted. My recovery wasn't that great. And I also had a knee problem, joint trouble. They, in order for me to pass my physical, they allowed me to train on a bike so I could actually finish and complete my 5 mile run. So it's been a journey for me, and I can't wait to share some of the benefits that these products have made for me, especially in my late 50s now. I feel younger than I did when I was in my 20s and 30s. And, to help with recovery, especially now, I'm noticing that, and Shelley mentioned that it's important to have good nutrition after 30 minutes of finishing high intensity or endurance activity. You should consume something made with a mix of protein and carbs, and this will help to reduce muscle soreness and also aid in your muscle recovery. And this is from a nutrition, Dan Penerdot. He's a professor of nutrition and kinesiology at the Georgia State University. And our Neolife protein performance is just another option for athletes that are needing that extra protein after they work out. So like Shelley mentioned, she'll do the Neolife shake before, and I do as well, but I love the performance protein for an after workout. And it contains the leucine, which stimulates protein synthesis to help with repairing muscles. An article in the Canadian Running Magazine stated that the most recovery shakes are made with whey protein, since it has more leucine than chocolate milk. And chocolate milk is definitely not something that I would recommend, especially with the sugar and the bad fats that are in some of these milk products. But this is definitely a better choice. And also the primary carbohydrate of chocolate milk is lactose, which is absorbed slowly. And this is not optimal for replenishing muscles quickly. So definitely the sport protein will just be a better product. And it does have 26 grams of protein, has a branched chain amino acids, the leucine, the glutamine, and the glutamic acid. So again, all of these help with cellular metabolism, neurotransmission, and immune competence. So someone that's a little more active, this would be something that you can definitely add. But if you're just moderate exercising, just having the one protein in the morning is fantastic. But this is for someone that's a little more advanced. And I do work out quite regularly with weights, just like Shelley. And we find that we need sometimes a little extra for recovery. So it all depends on your physical need. And it is biologically complete as well, has all 22 amino acids and your vitamins and minerals, and it's sweetened with a honey fruit sweetener system, protein sparing. So it has a proper ratio of the 1-to-1 protein to carbs. I know a lot of athletes really understand what that means, and that's what they're looking for. It has a protogod process, so it's easy to digest. It has some enzymes in there to help break it down. And again, no artificial anything, which like all of the Neolife products. And it has that same glycemic technology that Shelley talked about in the Neolife Shake. It puts your blood sugar in that glycemic control zone to regulate blood sugar. And our promise, I mean, no potentially dangerous stimulants, no artificial anything, no artificial colors, flavors, sweeteners, or preservatives. And it's guaranteed to be free of any substance currently banned by the National Collegiate Athlete Association, International Olympic Committee, and World Anti-Doping Agency. So we do have a lot of professional athletes using the Neolife products. And this is a letter that's available and accessible to you if it's something that is needed for you to access, especially if you're introducing some professional athletes. And again, no GMO ingredients. So when you're looking at protein needs, I mean, adults over 19 years of age with little or no exercise need about 0.8 grams of protein per kilogram or 0.36 grams per body pound of body weight per day. And as you increase the exercise, the protein increases, right? So that's where you might need to have that extra protein after you work out. So this means 56 to 91 grams per day for the average male and 46 to 75 grams per day for the average female. Protein needs for athletes. The Academy of Nutrition of Dietetics and Dietitians of Canada and the American College of Sports Medicine recommend 1 to 2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight, or 0.5 to 0.9 grams per pound each day for athletes. It depends again on training. And protein intake should be spaced throughout the day and after workouts. Endurance athletes may have the highest needs. So that's where the quality of protein is really, really important. And how can a nutrition improve recovery? Well, specific nutrients are critical in the body's ability to recover and improve from the stress of training. Deficiencies in certain nutrients can hinder improvement, recovery, and immune capacity. And I'm going to use my boys as an example. Some of you know both Jack and Luke. They played sports. They played basketball and football. And the protein shake and the supplements that we're talking about tonight is something that they would consume every day, even with sports injuries. Oh my gosh, I have so many testimonials of both Jack and Luke with concussions and ankle injuries and sprains where the trainers have said they're out for the season, and they just look at me and go, "Mom, bring it on." And we just increased some of the products, and the recovery has been incredible, especially one injury with Luke. He was back to playing the football game the following game when they told him he'd be out for the season. And there was even a snowboarding injury where he cracked his orbital bone behind his eye, and they told him he needed surgery. Didn't need surgery. They were blown away at the recovery. And Jack did have a brain injury 3 years ago, and they gave him a 6-month window recovery, and he recovered in 6 weeks. That's the power of nutrition, reducing inflammation, good quality protein. And that's why I'm so passionate about sharing these products with our young kids that are athletic, because prevention is the key. If you give the nutrition that you need when they're younger and they enter athletic career, incredible results when it comes to recovery. So what can supplements do? Well, first of all, they do fill the nutritional gaps in the diet. Okay, support tissue growth and repair, reduce inflammation. That is so critical. Support recovery and training, support immune system, maximize training effort, and maximize natural potential. That's what supplements do. They don't replace your food, okay? They're just helping you fill the gap. So what supplements cannot do, they don't replace a poor diet, they don't replace poor training, and they do not replace genetics. So Shelley, if you want to maybe just share a little bit about this study, because I know this is one of your passions when it comes to recovery.
Absolutely, Nada. And I think this was the biggest thing that was an eye opener when I learned about Neolife, because I had been teaching nutrition for many, many years, and the whole information about what's happening with our grains and the foods that we're eating, like our breads and our rice. isn't in the curriculum. It's not something that we learn about. It's not something that we teach. So when I learned here that adding grain oils, lipids, and sterols could actually improve the recovery. And that's actually from this study from Dr. Patrick Bowick, who showed the marathon runners can recover more quickly without the acute inflammation associated with excessive physical stress when given a sterol-rich supplement. In addition to demonstrating quicker recovery times, the athletes taking the sterile supplements had immune systems that were less compromised post-exercise than those of athletes not taking the supplement. So this talks obviously about marathon runners, but it applies to all of us because it's not in any of our foods anymore, which is why we need to supplement it. So our whole grains are no longer whole. So this is what we mean by that. When they started milling in the 40s, they actually started taking out the bran, the endosperm, the germ, the vitamin and minerals. So what is really left is the gluten, the starch, but they do enrich them with other vitamins. So when you're thinking about our breads or you're thinking about our pastas, our rice, those grain oils are taken out. Sorry, I'm getting really passionate. I'm losing my voice. Those grain oils are taken out because that's what turns rancid, and they need everything to sit on the shelf.
And there's our lovely Trianen, Shelley. I know this is one of your passions because when I introduced Neolife to you, you were kind of like, why didn't I learn this right when I was teaching? Because you were teaching phys ed and teaching nutrition, and you were
Yeah.
kind of upset that you didn't know about this. And I felt the same way when I saw this 35 years ago.
Yeah, for sure, because this is what really promotes cellular energy and how we absorb things and get the nutrition into our body. So when you actually introduce the Trianen, and I know that Nada, you'll share a little bit more about just the history of this later on, you actually get 35 pounds of the whole grain in a box of the Trianen Pro Vitality that we're going to be showing you. And it makes such a huge difference balancing our hormones, helping with energy, and just making our body work better. It's kind of like if you put something into your car, into the gas tank, and it helps it go 50% farther. That's what this Trianen does. And it's gluten-free and it's GMO-free. Just so important for everybody for just general health, but definitely, definitely, you'll see a difference if you're active. And this is how it works. On the left-hand side, you have your unhealthy cell, and you can see the outside isn't quite as malleable, so the nutrients can't get in quite as well, and the waste can't get out. On the right, when you do add those grain oils, the Trianen, nutrients get in beautifully, the waste gets out, and your cells can work the way that they're supposed to. And Texas A&M University did a study that showed that when you introduce the Trianen to your body, your utilization efficiency, which is your absorption and how you use nutrients, improves by 50%. And don't you want that for your body? Oh my gosh. I know when I heard this, it was like, yep, I definitely want it for me. And I definitely want to help others hear and learn about this as well. So Nada, if you want to take it away and just kind of show how it all works together.
Absolutely. So this Vitality Pack has some of those nutritional, remember they said that you can't, get everything from your food, where this is everything that's in this pack, right? So those grain oils are in there that Shelley was talking about, the Trianen grain concentrate. It also has the carotenoids, omega-3 fish oil, and a great multivitamin. So I like to call this like a Cadillac of multis. So Shelley covered the Trianen. And when you're looking at Trianen, these are the oils that we talked about that are missing. And this is what started Neolife back in 1958. When they started removing and milling the oil from grain in the 70s, they had a mission of just to try to find a way to have a longer shelf life. So we're now third and fourth generation not having these good fats in our diet anymore. And they're essential, as Shelley was talking about, essential lipids, essential fatty acids. So they are critical. And, when Neolife started, in 1958, when I was introduced 35 years ago, I met the first lady, Jeannie Aldridge, that purchased the first product of Trianen. And she had hormonal issues. She had rheumatoid arthritis. And she even said to me, that, and it was years of struggling with her health. And it wasn't until she added these amazing products that her husband brought home that her cells just started to work better. And Shelley shared with you how the cell function, needs these oils. And that's all that she did. She added these grain oils and boom, what a difference. And this was something that the first product I took 35 years ago, it just helped me to regulate my hormones, my energy, incredible results. But the other nutrient are the carotenoids. Carotenoids are powerful antioxidants that help to repair damage from free radicals. And they also help with the mitochondrial damage. So when you're exercising, you're breathing in more oxygen, so more aerobic, right? You're breathing in probably triple the amount of oxygen than somebody that's not exercising. And when you're breathing in that oxygen, you're causing like your body to rest from the inside out. So this just helps to support the immune system during this intense training and stress. And that just comes from your dark colored fruits and veggies. They say that we should be eating up to 13 servings a day. In the Neolife Carotenoid Complex, even one a day is equivalent to consuming 80 pounds of raw fruits and vegetables in a month. Pretty powerful and clinically proven to boost your immune system 37% in 20 days. And it's made from carrots and tomatoes and spinach and apricots and peaches. So get all made from food that we're just not getting enough of in our diet every single day. Your cells need protection. And that's what carotenoids do. They protect you from oxidizing. So from rusting from the inside out, protecting your cells. That's what carotenoids do. They slow that down. And again, clinically proven to boost your immune system 37% in just 20 days. And that was a third-party study. Now, this is my favorite. I know you too, Shelley, is the salmonol, the omega-3. I mean, this is why I've stayed active, why I've been able to get active. And even with you, Shelley, with your joint pain in your knees. And, when you took your braces off your knees to cycle and run and ski. And I mean, I've seen you, oh my gosh, even when we were doing that fat wheel biking in Arizona in the desert, I was so impressed. But the omega-3s, they reduce inflammation. And this is what really helped my son. They saved my son's life by reducing inflammation and even with all the sports injuries. But our salmonol has all 8 omega-3, tested for 200 contaminants with an allowance of zero mercury, 0 lead, 0 toxins from pure Atlantic cold fish. I have not found a complete omega-3, all 8 omega-3 on the market yet. And that's really important because if you don't have all 8, you're missing the anti-inflammatory piece. So this is why for athletes, we notice a huge difference in recovery, performance, injury, reducing inflammation, you heal faster. Definitely fills the gap in our diet because it's hard to find good quality, clean fish today. And again, it protects the cells from inflammation. So it gets into that cell membrane. And again, a diet that's low in inflammation, you heal faster. When you have a lot of inflammation in the body, you don't heal as fast. So it definitely is an enemy of our cells. Clinically proven to reduce inflammation 68% in just 8 weeks. That's 3 of these capsules a day. So that's pretty powerful. And also helps with your heart as well. Muscle soreness, exercise-induced asthma, even respiratory, a lot of inflammation in the airway. We've had amazing testimonials on athletes that say, oh, I used to use puffers and I don't anymore now that I'm taking the salmonol. So it doesn't cure asthma, but it reduces inflammation so you don't have any of the effects in the lungs. So we've had some pretty powerful stories and testimonials in that area as well. And then you throw in a multivitamin to this pack, micronutrients. This is like literally a Cadillac of multis. And when you add the shake to that, you have an incredible breakfast solution. And now we're going to have our dear Winston come and share his journey. Oh my gosh, Winston, I've watched you use the products for many years now, and you're still running and training and very athletic. So if you want to maybe just share some of your journey with us tonight.
Thanks, Nada. My wife and I, Joan, actually started using the products about 27 years ago. It took me a little while before I got converted over to Neolife, but I figured it was a lot better buying from my own store than going to the drugstore. And a few years after we started, I was actually very active, and I was coaching my daughter's ice hockey team. And went full speed into the boards without any equipment, and I cracked my kneecap. And the orthopedic surgeon said, we'll just stay off your knee for a while and come back in about a couple of years and we'll scope it out and clean it up. Well, I started on I guess Joan started me on a program, and within about 6 months, everything was going great. Never had to go back for surgery or anything like that. And then when I turned 50, I decided to start doing some running, long distance running. Started half marathons, and to this day I've done 14 half marathons. And with with the products, I've been able to train a lot harder, recover quicker, and was able to do half marathon in under 2 hours, which is a goal of just about everyone who gets into running like that. So as I turn 70, I think I still have a few more under 2 hour half marathons left, and maybe a full marathon. So thanks for the product. We're still running every day, almost every day, depending on the weather. And I'm so grateful that I've been using New Life products for all these years.
I want to be like you when I grow up, Winst.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thank
The
you so
product.
much for, yeah. Thank you so much for sharing your story with us. And whenever we travel anywhere in the world, Winston is the guy that carries my backpack everywhere we go. So I really missed him when you didn't travel with us this year, Winst, but you'll be with us again this year. Another amazing product that Neolife launched in the US in July, and it's in our warehouse in Canada. We're just waiting for Health Canada to say, ready to go, Canada. So we're waiting for that email or that text message from our leaders saying that it's ready to purchase for our Canadian market here. But we've been able to try it and use it. It is an incredible energy drink. And I know Peter talked about the Upbeat. So I use the Upbeat like Shelley as before I work out. But then the Elevate, we know when you kind of need a bit of a pick-me-up in the afternoon. Well, I had that this afternoon before I went for an hour hike. So I did an hour yoga this morning and then an hour hike this afternoon. And this product just really helped me just get that extra energy boost. Tastes amazing. And it's funny how many kids today, I was talking to somebody at yoga today, a 23-year-old lady, and she said, our young girl, and she said she knows so many of her friends that are doing anywhere 4 to 6 energy drinks a day, whether it be Monster, Rockstar. I was like, wow, the amount of sugar, the amount of, anyways, not good for you. This product is amazing. It's safe. It has all these incredible nutrients, and they've done some comparisons to other competitors. It's clean, there's no sugar, and we're starting to get some pretty powerful testimonials from people in our team. And then when we asked Peter to try it, he shared his story with us again. So here he is again, Peter.
Called Elevate, an energy drink that is safe and tastes absolutely incredible. I love, some of the sayings that I've been sharing with people. We're saying it's like windshield wipers for your eyes. But what's really nice is a lot of kids today are drinking some of these energy drinks because they're looking for ways to have energy, especially if they're in school, if they're playing sports. And when we launched Elevate, I was a new product called Elevate. Nice is a lot looking for ways to have energy, especially if they're in school, if they're playing sports. And when we launched Elevate, I was so grateful to have some of the younger generation try this amazing product and share their experience with me. And Peter is going to share his experience with Elevate and the impact it's having on his health and how he feels with this incredible new product. So this is Francis's son, Peter, and he's going to share his story.
Hi, my name's Peter. I recently started taking Elevate about a few months ago, and it's one of my favorite products now. I take it all the time and I love it. Whenever I'm trying to work on the computer or do any sort of task really, and I'm either tired or I can't focus or I'm overwhelmed or my mind is cloudy and I can't think, I take Elevate. It helps me because when I take it, I'm able to focus on one task for hours without being distracted, and my mind is clear, and I get so much more work done. But the thing is that Elevate doesn't just give me energy just like most energy drinks do, like Red Bull or Monster drinks, where if you take those, you have all this energy and you are awake, yes, but you can't sit still, you have to keep moving and doing stuff. With Elevate, I'm just awake and I can sit in one spot and think clearly and focus on one thing and get a lot of work done. Using my full mental capacity. So Elevate is a great product and I recommend it to everybody. And I use it all the time and I love it.
Right. So I just got a message from Sean, and I have to share this, Shelley, before you get on. And he said that he went to the store today to look at the price of Prime energy drink, $5.99 for one. I know, crazy. Anyways, I just thought I'd add that fun fact that Sean shared with me. Thanks, Shawnee. So Shelley, who can we trust and why Neolife?
Yeah, I know that we're going to make a big difference in a lot of people's lives once we have once it's open and we can start to spread it around Canada for sure. But the big thing is like, who can you trust? Because there are so many dangers lurking in over-the-counter supplements, and you know they've done different research, and they found from 2007 to 2016, 776 products marketed as dietary supplements contain hidden active ingredients that are unsafe and unstudied. And I remember when I started with Neolife 14 years ago, they had just done a study at the University of Guelph and they had looked at different products. And I was actually doing a show, and one of the gentlemen, you know, I was sharing this with him and we were going back and forth. And he said, I actually was part of doing that study. And I was like, oh my gosh. So he said, yeah, he said the product, what was on the label was not what was inside. So you really need to know what you're getting when you're buying things. And so who can you trust? Well, Neolife is a name that you can trust. Scientific Health Solutions since 1958, pharmaceutical license. So that's really important. You don't have to have that, but Neolife does it for integrity. For manufacturing, established in over 50 countries. So they meet and exceed all of the government regulations around the world. Industry pioneer in nutrition and most respected scientific research team. A lot of times they do research and then they're actually sharing it with other scientists. And a really important thing, it's not just one doctor who is standing up and saying, hey, use this product. Neolife is in many, many prestigious peer-reviewed scientific journals. So they're third-party publications. So that's really important. And that salmon oil, which is a real game changer for me, is written up in a research in the New England Journal of Medicine. So third-party research is just so important. And our scientific advisory board, to have all these people behind us to share and help us with our health. If we don't have an answer, you know, we ask people who have been with the company even longer, or we go to the scientists. We're able to connect with them to help us help you. And many of them we've met at different impact summits, or if they've done different shows, not different events for us. And Liz Applegate and Susan Beck and Todd Miller, who are the three most recent, are so active physically. Well, as is Diane Clayton, she does a lot as well. But it's just great to have so many people and scientists as part of the advisory board. And Nada had mentioned about Dr. Arthur First. And he founded the Stanford Cancer Chemotherapy Laboratory, and he was credited for being the founder of chemotherapy. And so after 40 years of researching cancer, he then decided he wanted to look around to see how he could then make a shift to focusing on prevention and ending the trend of chronic disease. And so he started the scientific advisory board with Neolife because they had like-minded philosophies on it's not just about sales and marketing, it's about products that work and backed by science. So he actually has a PhD in chemistry from Stanford, a doctor of science from the University of San Francisco, diplomat of the Academy of Toxicological Scientists, a distinction held by fewer than 100 scientists around the world. So if he is one of 100 toxicologists, you can bet that the products that you're taking from Neolife do not have toxins in them, because he knows the importance of not having them in your body, or it helps to take them out of your body, depending on the products. Oh, Liz Applegate. Yeah, go ahead, Nada. We both met her.
Yeah.
She's awesome.
Yeah, you know what, Shelley, when I met Dr. First, when I first started my Neolife business, I was in awe. He was such a humble man. And, you know, his whole vision was to really help people understand that supplementation was so important to fill the gap. And even Liz, when I met Liz Applegate, I mean, our scientific advisory board tried for many years to get her on board, but she didn't really understand who Neolife was and what we did. But when she found out what we did and who we were, she could not believe that she had never heard of Neolife. And she's now part of our scientific advisory board. She's a nationally renowned expert on nutrition and fitness. She's a faculty member in the nutrition department and the director of sports nutrition at the University of California at Davies. She's written numerous articles in Runner's World magazine. She is absolutely incredible, and her fitness, I don't know how old she is, Shelley. I don't think she really told us yet, but man, oh man, she is like a fitness guru, and the things that she does are crazy. And she said she could not do it if it wasn't for the good nutrition. So we're so grateful to have her part of our scientific advisory board. And our newest member, Todd Miller, I am so grateful to talk to him because my mom said to me a few years ago, you exercise too much. You shouldn't be lifting so many weights. You're not going to regret it when you get older, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I said to Todd, Todd, I need some advice. He goes, Nada, you need to lift weights. And he said, women need to continue lifting weights until they're gone. He said, and doesn't have to be heavy weightlifting, but enough that you're exerting, because we need to repair and rebuild that muscle tissue. And as we get older, we put on that body fat, but exercise is so important. So he's an amazing scientist as well. And he helps men as well. But I was so grateful that he does focus a lot of his energy on women and fitness and aging. And that to me was just incredible. He's so passionate about the Neolife products and how they can help you as well. So as you can see, I mean, your total health and wellness solutions, to be your best at any level, Neolife has just about everything you need. But we always recommend starting with something very simple. But our full motion, I know, is Shelley, yours and my most favorite product because of allowing us to do the activities that we want to do, especially when it comes to joint pain and injury. And this is my dearest friend, Debbie Abbott. I was actually talking with her today, and she's so grateful for this product. We joined the police force together. We were motorcycle cops, and she was on a motorcycle accident and her foot was severed. It came off and they pinned it back. They told her she'd have no motion or mobility in her ankle. She did physio. She did, anyways, I had her on the Neolife products. She didn't need not one skin graft was done. And they told her she would need several skin grafts. She was so grateful. And then when we launched Full Motion in Canada, I got a call from our scientists saying, we want to pick a couple people in Canada to do a test study that have had injuries, sports injuries, or any kind of injury or inflammation in joints. And I right away picked Debbie and my mom. And my mom had a lot of some arthritic fingers and toes and had struggled opening them. And anyways, both of them, phenomenal results after being on the Full Motion for 3 months. Debbie started doing light running on her ankle. They could not believe the mobility in that ankle. So they featured her in one of our magazines. So Full Motion is hands down one of my faves. This is why I'm back to full activity. And Shelley, I know your activity and what you do, this is one of your favorites as well.
Yeah, it sure is. And I did share about how it got me to be pain-free within a month, and I had to stop running, and then I was back back running and being very active. And I know, just to kind of do a little bit of a side, just for being active, if you have dogs that you want to be active too, our products, the salmon oil, oh my gosh, our dogs are loving the salmon oil, and the full motion is awesome for them too. And there's a couple other ones as well. So know that they are also safe for our lovely pets.
Oh, you're so funny. It's funny you say that because I saw my sister squeezing the salmon oil in her dog's dog food today. So yeah, she really loves that salmon oil for her dog as well. Because prevention, right, is cheaper
Yeah,
than having to bring your dog to a vet, right? And
absolutely.
this is another one of your favorites, Shelley, the endurance.
Yes, because it certainly sometimes, you just need something to give you a little bit more, and sport endurance is great for that part of it because it has the anti-fatigue nutrients, vitamin C and bioflavonoids as well, and it has the special protective coating to make sure that it's getting where it's supposed to go. But it also because it has helps with thyroid, which also can play a part in just being active. So a really important product as well.
I think for low iron too, right, Shelley? Because I know some athletes that have low iron issues. This is something that you can add if you're struggling with iron, with low
For
iron.
sure, for sure.
Awesome. So just a couple little add-ons, and we do have an athletic website if you want to look at some of the athletes and some of the stories as well. If you just go to neolifeathletes.com, some pretty amazing stories and testimonials are in that site as well. And we did talk about a lot of different products tonight, but I just want you to focus on the basics. The basics is either the Vitality Pack to give you that nutritional support. Adding the protein shake is definitely one of the best things you can do. And if you have some struggle with weight, then you can add some more shakes and replace 2 meals. But even that breakfast solution is such a great place to start. And you can either replace it with the vegan option if you want to stay away from dairy and soy, or you can use the Neolife shake. So there's 2 different breakfast solutions that you can focus on. But the vegan option is fantastic for those of you that are looking for something more plant-based. So how do you get started? Well, it's free to become a member of our Neolife Club. As soon as you join, you automatically get a 10% discount. You can even get a 20% savings, especially if you're on a monthly order, because they do last a month. And there's just savings. There's no gimmicks, there's no obligation, no penalties, and no fees. And you can even get your shipping back, and you can even get your products for free by referring people. I mean, being a club member is a great place to start if you just want to try the products. And if you're looking at as a side gig, like for myself, I wasn't looking for anything initially. But if you're looking for something where you can make a little extra cash, $500 a month, $1,000 a month, where can you start a business in Canada for as little as $98 or $75 in the US? I don't know. I don't know about that. But anyways, it's such a great income opportunity. So if you're thinking about that aspect, just reach out to the person who invited you, and we can share that piece with you as well, because you're in business for yourself, but not by yourself. You work together as a team. I got really excited about the benefits of the products. My health turned around. My mom and my sister and my aunts and people around me were just benefiting from the products. And I got so excited. I just continued to share. So I was able to leave my police career because that was one of my goals. So it depends on where you are in your life, what you would prefer to become a promoter. Stay healthy and active and learn how to share good health with the people that you love most. You belong to a passionate community, making the world a healthier and happier place. Enjoy the time freedom of being your own boss, deciding when and where and how you work, and time freedom, and just be active, right? You can earn $200, $500, $1,000, $5,000, $10,000, whatever your goal is. Just let us know, and we can help you set a plan for this amazing goal that you might have. So whatever best fits you. Okay. If you just want to become a member, try the products. We welcome you. If you're thinking about that promoter position, just ask, and we can guide you in that direction as well. So I want to thank you all for joining us. Shelley, I want to thank you for your expertise, and Winston, and also Sean for your input as well. That was really helpful tonight. Thank you so much. And we'll thank Peter. He's in university right now. So I always tell him that we're going to be sharing his video, and he's pretty excited about that. So again, thank you so much for joining us tonight. I really appreciate you all. I'll stop the recording and open up to any questions that you may have. So thank you again for joining us.